I apologize. I'm a little stuffy. Got a little bit of allergies going on, so bear with me. Senator Undergraduate.
Here.
Awesome. Senator Bamu.
Here.
Senator Desai.
Here.
Senator Dutta.
Here.
Chair Everett.
Here.
Chair Fiore.
Here.
Senator Guppy.
Here.
Senator Hatzios. Senator.
I just got here.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Senator Gibbon. All right. Pro Temp Logan. All right. Senator Maladkar.
Here.
Senator Nimala. All right. Senator Chair Pasapula.
Here.
I'm here. Member at Large Rampani.
Here.
Senator Richards.
Here.
Senator Chair Robinson.
Here.
Senator Seabear.
Senator Seabear just texted me and she said she's having a hard time finding the Zoom link, but she's logging on right now.
Okay, cool. Senator Syed.
Here.
Cool. Senator Wilkerson. All right. Senator Wilkins. Okay, and then one last call. Senator Gibbon. Pro Temp Logan. Senator Nimala. Senator Wilkerson. Senator Wilkins. Anyone? All right. Oh wait, Senator Wilkins is here, so I'm gonna mark you. All right. So this is gonna be a little different today, y'all, because we're gonna I'm gonna make a motion for committee of the whole, and we're gonna vote on it. So I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 7:32. Just call the roll. Is there anyone here for public comment period? If so, please raise your hand. All right, no one seems to be here for public comment period. I'm going to make a motion for committee of the whole. That takes a 2/3 vote to enter that. So we're, just to clarify, committee of the whole, what we're going to do there is we're going to introduce a concurrent, I'm not going to, the people who wrote it are going to introduce a resolution, concurrent resolution. And then pretty much it's just like a much more informal method of debate. We're going to be still like raising hands, but someone else is going to chair that's not me, pro temp, or any of the standing committee chairs. And we can conduct all votes by voice vote, and to exit committee of the whole, I think we need 1/4. So we need 2/3 to sustain this. So I'm going to go right back into it. Senator Anadura.
Yes.
Senator Bamu.
Yes.
Senator Desai.
Yes.
Senator Dutta.
Yes.
Chair Everett.
Yes.
Chair Fiore.
Yes.
Senator Guppy.
Yes.
Senator Hatzios.
Yes.
Senator Maladkar.
Yes.
Chair Pasapula.
Yes.
Senator Rampani.
It's me. Yes.
Senator Richards.
Yes.
Chair Robinson.
Yes.
Senator Seabear.
Yes.
Senator Syed.
Yes.
Senator Wilkins. I think Senator Wilkins is having a little bit of trouble, so we're just gonna call that good. All right. I guess someone who's not a committee chair, would you offer to chair this meeting now that we've entered committee of the whole?
I don't mind.
You can't. Sorry, we can't be a committee chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said well, committee chair. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It can't be me or committee chair. So if not, I'm gonna choose someone.
Is there a particular reason that it can't be you? Because it doesn't say that in the standing rules.
It does say in standing rules.
No, it's the speaker shall appoint a member of the Senate, excluding the speaker pro tempore and the chairs of the standing committees.
Yeah. I have to assign someone who's not me or them.
Yeah, but you're a member of the Senate and you're not speaker pro tem. I mean, it doesn't matter, but like you are not actually excluded by the standing rules from being chair of committee of the whole. I think it's an accident that that's the case. But it's true.
It might be an accident. I'm just gonna go ahead and follow and not do it because I just don't want to catch someone on the. Let's see. Anyone? All right, Senator Syed, would you mind chairing?
Of course.
Okay, cool. I will share the concurrent resolution, and then I'll go ahead and let you chair and call on the people who are presenting this.
Member at large from Pawnee, and if you just feel free to go ahead and start talking on your resolution. Oh, we're doing the other one first. Where is it? Member at large Maladkar and Vice Chair Anandura, go ahead and start speaking on your amendment or resolution.
All right, so essentially I was talking to a couple of my friends, and they had brought this up last semester, and they were concerned about it this semester as well. But essentially, the last day of spring semester falls on May 5th, and this is the deadline for pass fail. And because a lot of professors will not have put in their grades yet, and we haven't taken final exams at that date, students don't have a good understanding of what their grade is, and have to decide whether they want to pass fail a class pretty early. And so in consideration of the mental health concerns for students, we are advocating to push the pass fail date to a week following the last day of final exams. So that would be May 22nd. I think it says May 22 with a TH at the top. That needs to be fixed, but yeah. So I think in the second paragraph, it goes over the fact that there was a petition a couple or last semester, and one of them actually amassed over 6,800 student signatures, which is about 36% of the undergraduate Senate body, and it was to push the pass-fail deadline to after the last day of classes. And it gained a significant amount of support, but this demand was not met, or wasn't heard, or wasn't entertained by whoever was in charge. And so the paragraph afterwards talks about how there's a study done by a UNC professor of economics, and it found that mental health severely deteriorated during the pandemic and has actually been increasing steeply as the pandemic has progressed. We've seen, I think the quote directly says that a survey found that 1/4 of students reported they were suffering from anxiety and 1/3 from depression, which is a very, very significant increase from previous levels previous levels in the fall. And so the study also talked about how the pandemic has been impacting college students of color more severely. And there was also evidence that a lower percentage of students actually experiencing these symptoms of anxiety and depression were getting treatment than pre-pandemic. So obviously these levels of mental health issues are staggering, and these issues are not getting better. And so we are calling for a pushback of the pass-fail deadline in order to account for all of these circumstances that students are experiencing during this unconventional time, in the best interests of the students and their mental health. If Senator Anadurai wants to go into more detail or talk about some things that I maybe skipped over, that would be great.
Yeah, I think Senator Maladkar covered everything really, but this was very vocalized last semester, and I was surprised by how little I've heard about it this semester. And I think it's just because despite having such large mobilization, there was no result last semester, and that was very discouraging for the student body. And I think it is our responsibility to take that into account and really push for this to happen this semester, because I know despite kind of accepting the pass-fail deadline for what it was last semester, a lot of students really struggled with this. And I personally had to help some of my friends like really figure things out, and it put a lot of pressure that was not needed. So that's why we're raising this today, and hopefully we can help students out during this tough time.
Are there any questions? Yeah, Chair Fiore.
Yeah, so I really appreciate this proposal, and like I like the sentiments behind it a lot. My only concern is that we can't actually like make anything happen with this, and like you've compiled a lot of really compelling information, sorry, but like this is like a really like convincing document. My only concern is that we don't have the power as the undergraduate Senate to do much. And I'm wondering, do you see this as like a first step in like official protests, or like what are the next steps moving forward is more my question here, because I'm sure like you're aware of that. So like what is this signaling the beginning of?
So I'll take this question. The idea behind this is we're going to be sending it to the registrar's office and other administration. And the goal is hopefully by kind of putting all of this together in one neat letter and saying that, this is how it happened last semester. And as representatives of the student body, we're bringing this to you in an official capacity. Hopefully it could kind of at least raise awareness of the fact. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to maybe if there are concerns, we could meet with some of these individuals and flesh out the case more. But my hope is just to, at the very least, start a bit of discussion, conversation about how we could actually enact this or how we can make final season a little more manageable. And if Senator Molotker wants to add anything.
I think you covered it great. Yeah, I think the main idea is to start the conversation. I know it didn't work last semester when people brought it up, but like that's not a reason to like not try again, right? Just so that the UNC administration or whoever's in charge of pass fail determining that deadline knows that like we still are like experiencing this disconnect and like want to change it in order to better our own circumstances.
Senator Dutta.
Yeah, hi. I also want to echo the fact that this is a very important advocacy that we're currently doing through this resolution. But I want to emphasize the fact that final exam scores also affect final grades. So, and I remember from last semester, a lot of my professors actually released final exam scores beyond 1 week past the last day of exams. So I want to like offer a friendly amendment. I mean, if this is friendly to you, to extend it to the 29th instead of the 22nd, just to give a little bit more time. Like last minute term papers are due and those take a while to grade. And so I don't think a week's turnaround would be enough for people to decide.
Do we have to make a motion to amend it first?
Since we're in the committee of the whole, I'm pretty cool if she just maybe we should do that during discussion. Let's hold that for discussion. Maybe is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Chair Robinson.
I just would like to ask the question to the speaker or someone who was in the Senate last semester. Was an effort like this made formally by the Senate, or was it simply that student voice concern? I just wanted to make that distinction to understand a bit more of the precedent behind the issue.
Yeah, so there was an exact, almost identical concurrent resolution made like this last session, and we got basically a letter back from the chancellor saying, sorry, but it's not going to happen. And yeah, that's kind of where that went. But we had cited the petition as well and said that, wrote a very eloquent piece, but it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and their logic was pretty flawed. I think it involves something along the lines of students being lazy if they had the pass-fail deadline extended, which doesn't really make any sense. Like, I'm not going to be working to try and just get a C.
Well, the chancellor didn't say that. The letter was much nicer than calling us lazy. The letter was basically like, sorry, we just can't like accommodate this concern. But that was heard by a couple other members of the faculty.
Senator Guffey.
So I'm just a little concerned about how there's only a few weeks left of school. So if we send this out to people and like get the information out, is there going to be enough time for people to like take it and make changes and like send that out to the rest of the student body?
That's why we wanted to introduce this during this like special session, just to get it out there as soon as possible. In case there is a chance that a change could be made. I know like we haven't had much success in the past, but at least like being able to say like we are advocating for students and like their mental health. I think emphasizing the fact that mental health is being severely impacted by the pass-fail deadline being so early is something that would have more push, I think, in our favor. But yeah.
Chair Pasapula.
Yeah, I just have a question. Do we know if there are any like moves for direct action if there isn't a past deadline extension? Like I know the school or grad students, I don't know if they're striking now, but I've heard of like student strikes happening at other schools or this school from grad students, like, you know, like a strike on final exams if, you know, they don't extend the deadline. So I was just curious if we know of any that are happening, because if so, that is something we could include in the concurrent resolution saying that like, if this isn't changed, like students will be, you know, going on strike.
I do not know of any, but I could look and keep an eye out. I don't know, Senator Undergrad, do you have any idea?
I also don't know of any action. I don't even know of any petitions going on. And I think that's just because of the massive failure of addressing this issue last semester itself. But yeah.
Senator Subert.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do we know of any other schools that we could reference that have a later pass-fail date than us, like specifically 2 weeks after finals are done? I feel like I heard that NC State did it like that. Okay, sorry, someone just chatted that. But I don't know if that would strengthen the argument in referencing other schools.
I think I would be friendly to an amendment that includes a statement about NC State having a later pass-fail deadline than us, just like later when we edit the document or make amendments.
Senator Dutta.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question to those who were in the Senate last semester when a similar resolution was brought to the table. Can any of you describe what specific response the Chancellor's office provided us with? And in response to that response, are we rebuttaling those arguments in this resolution? Because that's the only thing that would be different.
I can try to clarify. So I wasn't a part of the conversations that happened because they happened between like, I think it was the speaker and like SAC and like the committee of the chancellor. But I don't think this could be a rebuttal just because we're not in the same session. So it'd be kind of weird to do so. And that's just my opinion. I mean, if we want to make it a rebuttal, we can. But I wouldn't feel comfortable representing like Keshuv's experiences as the past speaker in those like situations where he was hearing back from the chancellor. All I know is it just resulted in no direct action. So does that answer your question?
Sort of. I was looking for like the very specific reason why they said they weren't willing to do that. And if we've addressed.
Yeah. I can text Keshuv, but that's the most I can do for you. I personally don't know.
That's fine.
Would you like me to text Keshuv? I'm cool with it. He just may not answer.
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial for us to know what that response was. Since we are bringing up the resolution for the second time, I hope there's something new that we're bringing to the table this time.
I can say, and I think somebody said before, even though it was a little bit, you know, it was a little bit more nicely worded, but it was basically that we don't want students to stop trying their best, basically. I mean, it wasn't said just like that, but I don't know if that maybe wasn't from the chancellor's office, but that was something that was posted.
There's more a question. Yeah, I guess let's just motion. If there's no more questions, we can just enter discussion.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Chair Everett.
We're in discussion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I kind of just wanted to kind of speak in favor of this resolution. I kind of understand like if this doesn't go anywhere, but I do agree that it's important to at least try. Yeah, I just think it's really important to show that we are advocating. And again, it's better to try than fail than like not. So I just want to speak in favor of the resolution.
Yeah. Senator Desai.
I propose a friendly amendment of adding 3 more individuals to the list of recipients. Those individuals are Ethan Phillips, the Director of Student Safety and Wellness, and Mimi Chapman, Faculty Council Chair, and 4 individuals, Chancellor Guskowitz and Provost Bob Lewin. I can type their emails in the chat if that's easier.
Yeah, that'd probably be beneficial.
Okay.
Senator Dutta. Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, we need to make sure that was friendly.
Yeah.
That's friendly. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, all right. Senator Dutta, you can continue.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to bring up that extension of the pass-fail deadline thing again to the 29th instead of the 22nd, if that's a friendly amendment.
That's also friendly.
Senator Rampani, or Member at Large Rampani.
If it's friendly, I would just propose that we add at least the specific date for what NC State's doing. Maybe not some schools that are further away, but if we want to, at least one.
That is also friendly. Elena, are we also allowed to edit as you go, just that we can move a little faster?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Can you guys have editing access? Are you good?
Let me double check.
If not, I'll just go ahead and figure out how to drop this link in the chat.
Member at Large Maladkar.
Yeah, I know we made the friendly amendment to change it to May 29th, but I think the first time it mentions that in the sentence, it says like a week after the last day of final exams. So we might want to like change that to like 2 weeks after. So it doesn't, yeah.
What was that edit one more time if that was friendly?
Yeah, it's the one that's the last sentence of the first paragraph. We would like to request that the deadline for pass fail be extended to 2 weeks following the last day of final exams.
Cool.
Member at Large Rampani.
I just forgot to put my hand down, sorry.
All right, Chair Pasapula.
Yeah, do we know like the exact date that like grades are supposed to be finalized? Like, is there a specific deadline of like they need to be finalized for the transcript? I was just wondering because that also might take into account like when like the deadline for what we're asking.
Aren't teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I answer that question? Is that appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I know from last semester, there is like a tentative deadline that professors do need to follow, but it's always like amendable. They can always go back and change it. So it's not like a hard deadline, but it's something that they're supposed to aim for.
All right, thank you.
Senator Nimala.
I think the date is May 5th. If you guys were looking for the date, yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know why this says that. I'm gonna go look at that again.
Member at Large Maladkar.
Oh, sorry, my hand was up from last time. My bad.
Senator Dutta.
Yeah, I want to speak in favor of the resolution, but I do want to say that like I would feel like this is going to be, for lack of better words, it's going to be ineffective, given that it was a similar thing was passed last semester, and they didn't change anything. So I'm really hoping that we can all work together to amend the resolution enough to the point that we have contentious arguments against, the chancellor's response from last semester, because I really do think this is an important resolution. And I do think students would appreciate it, but it just needs to be more than what happened last semester for anything to happen this semester.
Can I push back on that, Ritu, if you don't mind? The reason I think that might be problematic is the faster we get this out, the better chance that this is going to get in the hands of people who can actually make change. I hear what you're saying, but the problem is we're fighting time. So next week, we're almost at final exams. So I feel like if we can't get this to like where we need it, I mean, from us, like kind of, were you trying to like say we need to like go back and work on it? But I feel like with what we're doing right now is like what we need to be doing to make this ready to go out if we so vote on it.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
I didn't mean, I'm sorry, I probably miscommunicated that, but I didn't mean that we need to like halt this and go back and redo it. I was just looking to add some points right now in committee so we could like make this a little bit stronger than last time.
Yeah. Do you have any specific suggestions for what we can add on?
I mean, for that, Elena or Speaker Powell said that she'd be reaching out to Keisha. I don't know if he would respond now, but
out to like 3 people who I thought would know the answer, and no one's texting me back. So I would keep you updated, but I don't know if I'm gonna get a text back in the next like 15 minutes.
well, if anyone in this committee was there during the discussion last semester, you guys are free to chime in.
Member at Large Maladkar?
Yeah, I don't know if this was motion before, but did we make the amendment that includes the fact that like Western Carolina, NC State already like their pass-fail deadline is later than like their last grades? I think there was it was mentioned in the chat, but I don't know if we made the amendment or not.
Yeah, it hasn't been added yet.
Okay.
You guys wrote the bill. I was gonna let you guys add that because I didn't know where you wanted to put it.
Could you drop the link for editing? Because we only have the old version. Sorry.
It should be in the chat.
Okay, let me double check.
It's I sent it at 7:52. It's a couple.
I got it. Okay, thank you. I will add that in.
Member at Large Rampani?
I just want to say too, to Senator Detta's point, being realistic, even if this doesn't come to fruition in the way we want it to, I think it's very important from the earliest days of this Senate that we, number one, make it clear that we're serious, right? That this is not just us screwing around and like trying to make ourselves look good, like we genuinely care about students. And the second thing too is to show students that we actually are receptive to what they're saying and what their concerns are, right? Part of the problems that we talked about when we were running for chairships is that we feel very disconnected from students and that they don't even know that we exist or that we really care about what they're going through. And so regardless of the outcome, I would speak in support of this amendment just to even show them that we are listening and that we are here for them.
Chair Everett?
Yeah, I just want to kind of reiterate what Member at Large Rampani just said. I just don't feel like fear of failure is enough to give up on students. You know, I understand that there is a chance that nothing will happen, but like I said earlier, I just think it's very important that we advocate at whatever expense there is. I just don't think that just, you know, worry and anxiety about this is enough to not do anything. So I just wanted to commend Senator Anna and Senator Matt Maladkar for this.
Yeah, I'll just jump in there real quick. Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment that essentially, while it's important that we could maybe make it better, we're really fighting against time here, and it's probably most important that we just get it out fast. While obviously it's also good that we get it out being good. Senator Dutta.
I just want to apologize if I miscommunicated earlier, but I definitely am in favor of this resolution, and I do want to vote in favor of it today. I just wanted to make a point that since we are making amendments right now, that if else had any more contentious arguments, that they put it forward now to make it stronger. But nothing more than that. I do look forward to passing this resolution today.
Senator Nimala.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the fact that, like, from the last response, how like there's the fear that students will like not try if they do extend the pass fail deadline. But I think it's actually the opposite, because if like the final exam in most classes is like 20% or more, and if I don't know like how I'm going to do in the final, that means like I'm more likely to just take the pass fail option, right? Like, but if like people actually move the deadline, they actually have a chance to see what the final exam was like, and like more people are likely to keep their grade if they actually get to see a chance of what like 20 to 30% of their grade like looks like. So I think that's like a strong favor in like pushing the deadline until after the exam. It's almost counterintuitive to have it before.
Sorry, I'm just breaking my fast right now. Member at Large Maladkar.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to put my hand down.
Oh, you're good. I have a question for Chair Powell. Do you think it would be possible to invite Chancellor Guskiewicz maybe to a meeting with the Senate in the next week or two?
So we do get addressed by the chancellor next semester if he comes in the fall to talk to us. There is in the standing rules, we're not allowed to meet the week of final exams, and I'll be honest, we can invite him, but I highly doubt with his scheduling that we're going to be able to get the chancellor in a room with us. I don't want to say no. That being said, I'm happy to send an email. I don't. What would be the reason for that?
I was just thinking that, I don't know, maybe if we made an appeal in person might be stronger than just like a letter that he can easily dismiss.
I hear you, but the concurrent resolution is like our communication to the chancellor, and I will give our chancellor a lot of props. Like from past chancellors I've seen, he does take the time to read and respond to our concurrent resolutions. So I would argue that this is just as good as being in person, as long as we communicate effectively what we're trying to say here. And like seriously, like I mean that with a lot of like Chancellor Guskiewicz is very like responsive to student government, at least like in the past session. He's always like responded to our concurrent resolution. So I would say like do understand that he's not going to throw this aside. He will read this. So
Senator Arnondurai.
Are we allowed to maybe request a meeting? Like could we say in this resolution, if you choose not to extend the deadline, are we allowed to request a meeting to discuss other options?
I would say that's so this is all my personal opinion right now, that this is nothing I'm saying from my like authority. I would say it's not appropriate to go in a concurrent resolution because it's a statement, but I would say if he responds to this with like a hard no, then I can email him or get in touch with Lamar, who literally like contacts him on a weekly basis, and say, hey, Lamar, can you bring these concerns to SAC, which is the Student Advisory Committee, to the Chancellor, and say, will you have this conversation with the Chancellor? And I think this is a really vital place where we could partner with Lamar and Ebo and say like, we're really passionate about this. We want you to take this on and be our voice in that room, and really fight for this. And I'm happy to speak with Lamar, and I think we're sending this to him anyways. So if he responds with a no, then I say this is a really great place for partnership with the executive branch.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Chair Everett.
I don't know if I can do it, but if everyone's done, I was hoping to make a motion to enter voting procedure. If everyone's done asking questions, of course.
We can't enter voting procedure in this. We would motion to put this on the general orders calendar, and then we can go through that.
Can I motion to do that and put it on the general orders calendar?
Yes. Is there a second for that?
Second.
Right.
Now we need to make a motion, or I'll motion to end committee of the whole.
Yeah. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay, I'm going to call roll, and so we can exit. Actually, there's a rule in committee of the whole that says we can conduct everything by voice vote unless a fourth of senators. So I'm going to say if we have an overwhelming sound of no objections, we can just voice vote ourselves right out of this. So all in favor of exiting committee of the whole, please unmute yourself and say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those in objection. All right, I'm going to say we can leave committee of the whole. All right. Cool. You did great, Hussein. Thank you for your service. I'm going to move this to the general orders calendar. USR 003007, member at large Rampani. Do you wish to do anything with your concurrent resolution?
I have a question. Can I give a little context, or should I just straight up?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so we basically made a short concurrent resolution about some of the concerns chemistry students are facing, or not even chemistry students, but those in general chemistry. There's been a lot of, I hate to use the word manipulation, but a lot of shady stuff going on. And so thankfully, without us even having to introduce this motion tonight, It seems that a lot of the concerns through the voices of students and the fact that we were even taking this step got to faculty. And without us even having to send this, they addressed, I think, 4 out of the 5 things we had brought up in the resolution. So for that point, it seems a little redundant. So I am going to, I don't know if I have to motion, but I'm going to withdraw 007.
Thank you for that. We're going to move right down to USR 003-008. Oh, sorry, Chair Robinson, is there a question?
One very brief query for Senator Rampani. Have their concerns, the issues that they addressed, where can that be found?
It was sent direct. We were specifically talking about Gen Chem 2, so Chem 102. And I mean, it was sent to every student in 102. I think Senator Dutta has a copy of that because she's in 102 right now, but she can definitely, I don't want to speak for her, but I think she'd be able to pass that on to you pretty quickly.
Yeah. Wait, is it okay if I speak? Okay.
Yeah.
So we got an email actually this morning in response to our exam 3 scores. They decided, I don't know if it was like, I don't know if these changes were motivated by this resolution and talk of this resolution, but I think they just realized that everybody did pretty bad on exam 3. So they were going to keep some of the changes from last semester that we were encouraging them to make in our resolution. And so they're just going to keep it. Not all of the issues were addressed, but like the major ones that were driving, that were holding this resolution together were addressed. So we found this resolution to be redundant.
Senator Sied, is there a question?
Yeah, I just had a question. By those changes, do you mean the final replacement thing?
Yes, the final grade replacement was one of the biggest ones. Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to
All
clarify.
right. I'm going to move to USR 003-008. Does anyone want to make a brief statement on this concurrent resolution? Sorry, we have to kind of go through the motions unless there's a motion on the bill or on the resolution. I would be favorable to a motion to vote, but
Motion to enter voting procedure.
for a second.
Second.
Fantastic. All right. We're voting on USR 103-008. Senator Anadurai.
Yes.
Senator Bamu.
Yes.
Senator Desai.
Yes.
Senator Dutta.
Yes.
Chair Everett.
Yes.
Chair Fiore.
Yes.
Senator Guffey.
Yes.
Senator Hatzios.
Yes.
Senator Malodkar.
Yes.
Senator Nimala.
Yes.
Chair Pasapula.
Yes.
Senator Rampani.
Yes.
Senator Richards.
Yes.
Senator Robinson or Chair Robinson.
Yes.
Senator Seabear.
Yes.
Senator Sied.
Yes.
Senator Wilkins.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. I have no notices, announcements other than that we have orientation right after this. So if you have like 45 minutes to an hour, please attend orientation because you'll be able to ask questions. If you absolutely cannot, it will be recorded. Now we have to do a voice vote for adjournment. Senator Anadurai.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
Is there a second? Okay. Great. That's a second to me. Senator Bamu.
Yes.
Senator Desai.
Yes.
Senator Dutta.
Yes.
Chair Everett.
Yes.
Chair Fiore.
Yes.
Senator Guffey.
Yes.
Senator Hatzios.
Yes.
Senator Malodkar.
Yes.
Senator Nimala.
Yes.
Chair Pasapula.
Yes.
Senator Rampani.
Yes.
Senator Richards.
Yes.
Chair Robinson.
Yes.
Senator Seabear.
Yes.
Senator Sied.
Yes.
Senator Wilkins.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. I'll see you on the next Zoom call.